Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 413. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing a book at some point, but you're having trouble finishing it, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Ink, like that stuff we write with, ink. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published book author. Those 3 things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. Imagination and fiction make up more than 3/4 of our real life. Simone Weil. I agree with that. I don't know if that's an official scientific stat, but hey, why not, right? Because speaking of our topic today, fiction, when I ask my fellow entrepreneurs and small business owners quite often if they read novels or fiction books, the answer is quite often a resounding no, never. Because why? Because in business, every minute of every hectic, meticulously produced day has to be deemed useful. And nonfiction business books make the cut easily. You know, we have investing in our businesses by learning leadership strategies and productivity tools and business planning tactics and, personal development, personal growth, all the things that people see, in their mind, like the clear ROI to their business by reading those books. And this is all completely true. But where does that leave nonfiction's slightly less maybe ROI-driven stepsister in the minds of business readers? Well, apparently not in a good place, very much ignored, because reading fiction, I'm told by many people, is a waste of time. So obviously I beg to differ. And this is something, by the way, I've been talking about my coaching clients lately, and it just occurred to me this is something that I have all my book coaching, little secret here, all my book coaching clients, whether they're writing fiction or nonfiction or whatever, I encourage them as a homework assignment to always be reading fiction because that adds a higher level of writing. I always call it like the literary level, the literary layer of writing. Things in the writing toolbox that I'm about to talk to you about, like visualization and metaphors and analogies. It gives you a whole different set of writing tools that nonfiction simply does not. So I encourage all my coaching clients to read fiction books simply to immerse themselves in that much higher level of language. So here are some other reasons that I have that you should I encourage you to add fiction to your daily reading. Number 1, fiction adds depth. So nonfiction acts as a valuable human operating manual answering the what and how of managing business and life. But fiction goes behind the scenes, exploring the why, adding the color commentary. Beyond that, it provides a thought-provoking layer of what if to expand our view of this thing called life. With depth, it is nearly impossible to go through the motions. We become creators of life rather than mere operators. So where could you benefit from a behind-the-scenes view of life in your life or your business? Number 2, fiction gives life a shape. Read enough fiction and your brain will start to recognize how stories and plot lines are shaped. You will start to understand and get a feel for arcs and the 3-act structure and rising and falling, tension and action, inciting events and relief of tension, all the things. Once you understand how every event has a beginning, a middle, and an end, you will learn to tell better stories, and you'll also learn to understand other people's stories and the stories around you in life more easily. Number 3, fiction is a People 101 crash course. It offers one of the greatest gifts of all, an understanding of people. Why we are the way we are, why we act the way we do, because novelists invest more time in developing their characters, perhaps more than any other aspect of their books. This is because each character needs to be well developed enough to carry an entire plot line on his or her shoulders. Fiction writers are tasked with understanding people on a near quantum, like a forensic level, and by reading their words, we learn to see through their eyes. Number 4, fiction helps you communicate better. Every word of fiction is designed to paint a visual picture, to move a plot forward, to reveal something about a character. Every line in a novel has its own mission. It also must seamlessly weave together with all the other lines, carrying the reader on a smooth tidal wave from beginning to end, without dropping them soaking wet on their butts, shivering on the muddy beach, so to speak. To do this, and I mentioned this earlier, fiction writers employ writing elements, so like writing tools. I call it your writing toolbox, like metaphors, similes, allegories, parables, imagery, and other feats of literary magic. So yes, in summary, fiction is sometimes harder and slower to read and challenges the popular page reading quotas of top business leaders, those who encourage us to kind of download encyclopedia chapters of business data into our computer-like brains daily by just reading, one nonfiction book after another. Fiction maybe slows you down a little bit, but it sets our creative brains free from that kind of thinking. It challenges us to think deeper. It activates our imagination. It teaches us human psychology. And it gives us access to alternative viewpoints of life. Fiction lets us dream beyond our daily lives. So happy reading in that case. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook and let us know what you're reading. Give us some reading recommendations, and maybe it's fiction, I hope. Inc. Authors on Facebook. Until tomorrow, happy writing.